And if everyone is ready to get started, we're gonna get seated in any comfy position. But if anyone wants to pop on, I'll wait for a few more seconds in case you have any other requests. All right. Well, most importantly, my friends, as we make our way back to the mat, thank you for joining me today first. But most importantly in class, we want to know that we're having fun, we're letting loose, we're being free, and we are feeling what our bodies need most. So I'll guide you, I'll lead you in certain things, and then I just ask that you listen to your body and figure out what it needs to really experience something well. My favorite way to sit is on my shins. I last as long as I can in toes pose with the toes tucked under, and then I'll let them go in a little bit. But if you'd rather be sitting cross-legged or in a butterfly posture, please find something that feels really good. And we're connecting with our breath as we breathe in the beginning. Bring arms overhead as you inhale. Exhale, allow arms to fall to the right side and a tiny little twist. Lever your hands against your right thigh. Breathe in again, arms rise. Hands fall left. Use a little pressure on the left thigh as you peek over your left shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release behind low back. And let's try to clasp our hands together, but push the heels of your hands. So instead of this, push the heels of your hands together and really peel your chest open. Now watch what happens with your belly. We can very quickly go into back bend. So we want to keep our bellies in and our ribs down. One more big squeeze back there. Arms rise. Exhale, allow your right arm to fall across your body, somewhere that feels good. Some of us may be low or high. Just gently use your left arm to pull across as you look to your right side. Give your right fingers a little wiggle, energize and brighten them. And then lift your right arm to the sky, bending elbow, using the forearm of the left arm to connect behind our head, and that gives us a little watch, boost. So I push my head back to help myself get longer through the right tricep here. Take another big breath in, belly in, breathing strong. Release the arms and give them a big roll backwards and a roll forwards if you can go both ways. If you can't, just go however feels really good. Arms rise. Left arm falls. Use a little bit of leverage here. You can go under or over the arm, always figuring out what works best for you. I gaze to the left. Reach up with your left arm, bend at the elbow, and hook your right forearm behind your head if possible. Then you're gonna boost back. So remembering what can happen here, we splay the belly open and we back bend and it's constricting on the low back. So I always like you to think about lifting from the back ribs, the backs of your earlobes, something from the back body. Stay long. One more big breath in. Exhale, release the arms. Bring hands forward and round your back. I'll show you from the side. Like a seal clap. You're gonna clap your hands together and round your back, angry cat style. Go the other way. Open your arms. Tailbone and top of head, reach back, cow pose. Let's go exhaling in cats. Inhalings in our cow. Exhale, we're gonna try twice more here. Last big time. Reach arms all the way back up and overhead, and then from wherever you are, bring hands to the ground. Start to put some weight into them. So I'm moving off into tabletop. If you were seated on your buns, bring your knees under your hips for table, and try tucking your toes if you haven't done that yet. Awaken the bottoms of your feet. And then as you begin, a little side to side, front to back movement, we're warming up our wrists. So I really like you, in the beginning, to spread your fingers wide. So wide the webbing is open, and then you're gonna grip like you're clawing at your mat. Grip your fingertips down so they turn white. We're gonna awaken the finger knuckles. And then let's move in all different patterns. Like see if you can serpentine your spine and make a little figure eight forward and a figure eight back. Remember that you're listening to your body. So some of us may have very cranky backs, and we just wanna lift and lower again. Moving slowly and exploring. One more big breath with your clawing fingertips. And at the bottom of that breath, let's come to our forearms. Pressing forearms down, fingers spread wide, toes tucked to lift our hips. We find ourselves in dolphin pose to warm up the shoulders. Let's walk our tiptoes forward towards our elbows. And we're using forearms to really press our heads back, which is tough. So if you've started shaking in your shoulders, that's very normal. That's a good thing. That means we're pushing out of our comfort zones. Drop to knees whenever you need it. Otherwise, stay for 2 more breaths. Get upside down and reap the benefits of this beautifully, newly oxygenated blood flow. Everyone drop to knees, please. Find a seated position, any that you like, and then reach your arms forward, wrapping your left forearm under the right. Hug your shoulders and actually walk fingers towards shoulder blades if you can. So noticing that my elbows are coming more and more and more wrapped. Give yourself a big hug and then round your back. I'm peeling shoulder blades open as I round into that angry cat. Chin tucks, elbows towards your belly. Try the other way, yogi. So just unthread your arms. Notice which one was on top and roll the other arm to the top. We're going to walk, walk, walk back with fingers. Try to hug tight, belly in, and then round forward. So I think about peeling my back open, pulling the shoulder blades apart here. Let's take one more big breath in, an invigorating breath, and then exhale to a calming lift. Skywards, downward facing dog. Unwrap the arms, give them a little shake or a little roll, whatever feels good on your shoulders. Place palms down, tuck toes again, and rise through your hips, down dog. And when you get there, my friends, let's get a little movements into our dogs. We're gonna shift our hips right to left. Possibly think about lifting one foot as you shift, lift the other and shift. Then try rolling forward and back. You're welcome to drop to knees if you'd like. Another attempt at warming up our shoulders. When you feel pretty good, let's bring our big toes towards one another, lift both heels, and swivel our feet to the left. So both heels are facing the left side. Chest is still pushing back towards our thighs. Rise through heels, swivel them to the right, chest pushed back towards thighs. Lift back into the center and bend both of your knees into a crouch. Maybe your ankles cracked like mine. That always feels good. Create some space. Straighten your left leg only. We're walking the dog in slow motion. Bend both knees. Straighten only your right leg and press on back. Let's bend both knees. Look at our thumbs and tiptoe walk forward into fold. When we fold today, we're going to basket weave our arms. So take your left hand behind your right calf or behind your right knee, wherever you can reach. Right hand behind the left. And I'll just show you this from the back. So you've got these little basket woven arms. You tuck your chin and let your head hang as heavy as you can. And then use the backs of your hands to really pull yourself nose towards toes. While you're down here, I would definitely recommend shaking your head no. No time for tension, so let's let it fly off our scalps. And then slowly shake your head yes. We always have to end on the positive. That feels really good for positivity moving forward. Unthread your arms, please. Clasp your hands behind your low back. Bend your knees a ton and take a break on the hamstrings. Press your heels of hands together again, but this time lift them as much as possible, maybe towards the sky. Let them float away from your back. Now, did your shoulders start to crunch up towards your ears? Are you able to pull your shoulder blades down towards your tailbone? Squeeze space away from earlobes. Neck feels really happy and free here. Straighten your legs to any degree that feels good for you. Allow hands to fall to low back. Slide down your thighs to the floor. And let's take a big old breath in. Rise to the sky, yogis. Whew, gets a little crazy being upside down, doesn't it? Feel a little funny? Let's take a couple more rolls through our spine. Any way to fall back to forward fold. And then we're going to rise and shine. Big breath in here. Maybe you're moving your arms a different way each time just to experience different feelings. Forward fold, rise to sky. We're staying down there again though. One more round of warm-ups. Forward fold. When you arrive, pause please. In this forward fold, let's take our left fingers under our noses, bend our left knees big, and then rise up through the right arm. Skywards if possible. Eye gaze following. Good strong mind-body connection when we connect here. If your neck ever bothers you, remember to look wherever it feels great for you. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, release to the floor. Take a second to just pedal out through the knees. Bend them, straighten them, swish your hips. Hand comes under the nose on the right side. And then we lift our left arms. Now bend your right knee as much as you need. Some of you may be able to do it with straight legs. But if it hurts the back of your body, really bend generously into your right knee. Look skywards. Always creating space. So move your armpits away from your hip bones, especially on the right side. Top arm falls, eyes look forward, knees bend and hands come towards the knees. One more round of cat-cows. Exhale, rounding your back. Inhale, pull chest through the elbows. Exhale, round. Use your hands. Push away on your thighs. I like to hold my kneecaps here and really pull forward. One more round. Exhale. Inhale. Chair pose. Arms come forward. Chair can be really wide. I like to call this one queen chair. No offense to the guys. King chair is fine. And then this is regular chair. Knees anywhere that you like them, but a little closer in. So whatever's steady for you, please find. Take left hand around low back and right fingertips to the left thigh. Give yourself a tiny twist in this chair. Knees are going to stay forward. Hip points stay forward. So we're twisting through the lower spine here. Big cleansing breaths. I love a good exhalation through an open mouth. At least 3 of those you need in the beginning of your practice to really enliven and get rid of stale energy. To the center, arms forward. Right arm around low back. Feel that inner thigh burn? Good job, guys. Left hand outside the right inner thigh. Look over the right shoulder. We're about to get cracking. We're going to really move here and connect with our breath. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out, come forward. Exhale, rise. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Let's get flowing, guys. Inhale, overhead. Now, again, think about our ribs. No back bend. So we're going to tuck the ribs down, knit them together, belly in firm. Exhale, forward fold when you're ready. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips slide up your shins. We want to get long from top of head to tail. Soften back down to forward fold. Right leg steps back, really gravitationally pulling hips towards the earth. Let gravity take over here and do its job. At any point today, you're welcome to kneel all of our lunges, okay? You have to make that decision for yourself. But the first of the psoas stretches, when we get here, we want to try to really let the hips sink heavily until we feel a pull on the front right hip flexor. Knees side by side, child's pose. Reach overhead and tent your fingertips so the hollow heel of hand looks like a little spider for creepy season. Pull on back, get energized and uplifted through the arms, even into your armpits. Palms press flat, toes tuck, downward facing dog. Let's roll forward, yogis, plank position. Again, knees anytime, so whatever you need, you take today. Tops of feet would fall flat if you're on your knees. Then we slowly melt our chests down through the elbow window, all the way to the earth. Forearms come down for Sphinx pose. Let's spread our fingers wide. Squeeze through the back body and eyes gaze gently forward. Belly pulls in as we breathe. Toes press down to help us lift a little higher. Exhale, release to the earth. Press back to child's. And when you feel ready, straight to downward facing dog. Right leg elevates. Big breath in. Point your toes here and lift through your left heel so you're in the widest, open, 3-legged dog you've got. Let the left heel melt, right heel comes to butt, and we fan our right hip open. Try to square the armpits towards one another and take your nose back towards your knees. Square back off through your hips, push back through a straight right leg, 3-legged dog. Look to thumbs and land in between them, another lunge. Here comes that gravity. Feel the effects of your hips melting. Feel the left front of your hip, the psoas muscle lengthening. I love a little sway side to side here, kind of like you're a buoy in a bobbing sea. Back leg steps forward. I like to give it a little boost. See how you can make it a little lighter? Release back to fold, and then any way to travel to the sky. Roll slowly. Allow your spine to articulate one little vertebrae at a time. Arms rise. Fingers press. Lift all the way overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go through it again, gang. halfway lift. Inhale, top of head from tail long, shoulders to hips long, hips to heels, energetically long. Melt to the earth, left leg steps back. As soon as you find that really heavy feeling like you're sinking into warm sand, reach both arms forward, clasp with extended pointer fingers, and then rise to sky. You're welcome to kneel all of these lunges. Little psoas work, hip flexor. Take hands towards the hips, drop the left knee down, and then lift back up. Now try to tuck tailbone a little more. Drop left knee down and rise back up. If you're in kneeling lunge, you would rise an inch off the floor and release. For those of you that feel really good in your hip flexor, stay low and start to push through the left heel and rebend the left knee. Push and rebend. So you're either rising and lowering, a little less intense, or pushing and rebending. We have 3 more. Breathe in. Another big breath as you push and pull. Frame out the front leg. Land the back knee. Give yourself a second because that's hard. And then bring your knees together. Great job, guys. Sit back in child. Take a sec. Woo! And if that feels really lit up, you may want to swing your hips side to side. That was a big stretch. When you feel great, downward facing dog. Remembering to do what you need to do. I like to shake my shoulders, shimmy my hips, so do things that feel good. Roll forward when you're ready. Plank position, inhalation. Exhalation, chaturanga. Excuse me, that's when your chest comes through your elbows. Sorry guys, I'm choking on something. Body to the floor. Fingertips come outside your shoulders. I hope I didn't inhale a dust bunny in my basement. Fingertips come towards your shoulders or a little wider. Tuck your chin to your chest and then lift from the back body, pressing toenails down again. So we're really gonna go long in the upper body. Take a big breath in, but hover your fingertips if you're able to. Exhale, release to the earth, push back to child, and right to dog when you're ready. Big breath into dog. Left leg, rise to the sky, flex your foot, push long, a little longer. Then point your toes and lift your right heel and get the most wide open 3-legged dog you've got. Bending your left knee, heel to butt, and fan your knee open towards the left side as you melt your right heel back down. Taking peeks out under armpits is always nice. Get a little twist in here. Definitely play with your left toes. Open them, close them, move them all around. Square everything back up. Push your left foot long. Look to thumbs. Step on in. All right, my friends, here we go again. So get low, let gravity take over. Think of honey melting down. Clasp your hands overhead, pointer fingers extended. Stay low and loaded lunge, and then rise through the arms. Okay, hands to hips. We're gonna get that flow on again with our right knee. Option from the floor, you're just gonna lift and lower. If we're up high, we're gonna try to tap the knee down and rise. Bend and rise. Now, are you able to tuck tailbone anymore? Notice what happens when we tuck. This gets longer, stretching deeper. So that will be our goal. You'll feel it. And then if you're feeling really good, you may want to stay low, press the right leg out instead of rising. Rebend, press the leg out. We have 2 more, yogis. Tough challenge, hang on. Arms frame out the left foot. Just take a second to recover. And when you have, step your back leg in. Woo! All right, my friends. May need a little moment here to swing and sway. When you're ready, fingertips rise to the sky. Find a new way to get there. A little movement here and there really makes a big difference. Inhalation. Exhale, long and slow. Find the floor. 2 more rounds. It's going to feel great. Take a giant lift through your body. Send fingertips behind you this time. A little stronger of a halfway lift float. To the earth we go, yogis. Forward fold. Right leg steps back. From this one, land your right knee, everybody, please, and shift your hips back to half split. Now we have so many options in our half split. I really care about you feeling the stretch in your left thigh, but lifting your body long. Otherwise, you could be anywhere you want. You could sit on your right heel. You could be foot flat on the floor with the left leg, lifted off the right heel, flex through left foot. Whatever feels good is what you should be doing. Take a little twist with me outside your left knee, soft left knee, turn the corner for a moment. Roll on back to the center. Elevate right knee and tuck your toes so that you can rise hips high to pyramid pose, wide pyramid pose, right? If you're a little nervous in this foundation, you can step closer, but I like you to be wide so your back heel is lifted, and then I want you to push out that right heel, really go long. Okay, now squeeze your inner thighs together, yogis, and feel the rotation when you do. Left hip back, right hip forward. A little longer in your side bodies and take a huge sigh exhalation. Let your body fall down like cascading water over your left leg. Rebend your left knee. Push back straight to dog if you're able to. You're welcome to stop by a child's pose too. And we're going to vinyasa flow, but it's optional. So you can stay here. If you want to flow with me, roll forward to plank. Knees or no knees, chaturanga. Now inhale, we have done Sphinx, option, baby cobra, fingertips option, or we can go flat palms, straight arms, knees and thighs rise, full up dog option. Big lift. And let's meet all of our friends in downward facing dog. Great job, yogis. Right leg rises, inhale. Step outside your right pinky finger this time, really wide lunge, and let's find that gravitational pull. My full was a combination of force and pull. Let your hips be really slowly melting here, moving a little here and there. Foot steps outside the left pinky finger, and here we are in yoga squat. So high, feels good, stay, or you can come low with me. Wherever you are, try to pull your pelvic floor up and in. It's the same thing that you do when you try to stop the flow of urine. So we squeeze up and in, keeping all the good energy in and training those muscles to be really safe and strong. Exhale, wide-legged fold, turn your heels in, roll high to the sky, and we have one more round of this strength building warming. Toe heel in, or you can bend your knees and hop. Inhale, rise to extension again. Long from the back ribs, keep the front ribs in. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift with lots of energy. So I'm gonna sweep fingertips behind us, float your chest open like a big up dog. Back to fold we go, and the left leg steps back for kneeling lunge. So if your knee is uncomfy, take your mat and fold it over so you feel really comfy on your kneecap. Shift to wherever it's right for you. Stretch your front hamstring. Noticing where your backs are, noticing where your hips are in space. Sometimes a little sweep with your hips side to side can make a big difference on the stretch. Sides really long. Exhale, fingertips outside your right shin. And as you twist, do something different with your right toes. Maybe even just flaring them open and energizing them. But possibly considering pointing or flexing, whatever you're not doing. Back around the front corner, tuck left toes, rise knee and lift into high high pyramid pose. And press your left foot out really far. So go long through that back leg. Just takes a second to kick in. Then you feel it gets melty like taffy, doesn't it? And squeeze your inner thighs together. Notice that your left hip swiveled forward and your right hip swiveled a little bit back. All right, our final vinyasa has finally made an appearance. Press back. Downward facing dog. This is optional, yogis. We'll meet you if you choose to stay. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, any choice of a back bend. Exhale, back into down dog. Let's everybody meet together for a big, beautiful in-breath. Left leg rises. Look at your pinky finger. Step outside for a wide, melty lunge. Ah, yes, like butter on a hot day. Just let it melt right on in there. Take a little bit of movement if that feels good. When you're ready, step your right foot outside, pinky finger. One more yogi squat, but we're gonna stay. Even if you're high, you can do these, okay? Left elbows or hands inside the knee. Right arm sweeps somewhere. Can certainly reach or it can wrap behind our low backs. You choose. Pelvic floor up and in, belly muscles turned on. Right arm comes down, Hand to knee, elbow to knee, left arm sweeps open. Wherever you are in your squat, can you wiggle your toes? Really nice to find liberation. Can you free up your facial muscles? Loosen the hinge of your jaw. That's a good one. Soften your eyes. Untwist, wide-legged forward fold, and let's roll to the sky for some balancing hip work. Inhale, arms up, toe heel together, or I like to do the little jump, and then bring your left knee into your chest, but I want you to hold it. Literally take like a basket hand and hold it to lift high. Okay, more psoas stretching if you can back bend. So I'll show you. We could stand up really tall here. This is just a great stretch for your hip flexor. But if I'm able to lift tall and then start to lean back, it's a balance challenge for sure. But once I get back here, I've got this great right hip flexor, AKA psoas muscle stretch. So let's say you're like, I'm gonna fall over and crack my head open. I don't like it. Just go to your wall. Oh my gosh, this is the best part about being home is you have all these things around you. So definitely use your props, your yoga props. Come on back to center. If you leaned back, try not to fall over. Bring left heel to butt and stretch up with your right arm. Heel to butt. If I can hold my hand on my foot, that's great. If I can't, it's okay. I'm still gonna try. As I reach my right arm overhead, I'm tipping over to the left side. Now, heel to butt is a great stretch for the quad, but if you can still stay strong in that left leg and kick into your hand like you're trying to straighten your leg, you'll get a killer stretch. Press your kneecap down, try to straighten your leg, really strong fight against the left hand. One more breath. Rise with a knee lift. One more balance challenge. Hug your knee back in, flex your left foot and cross it over the right thigh. So you can stay right here and this feels good on the left glute, right? But if possible, sink. Sink a little lower. How low is too low? I don't think there's ever too low. You can go all the way down. That's where I like to go. Fingertips to the floor. And then, my friends, you straighten your right leg or bend it. You do what feels really good. Let's make sure that our left ankles are comfy, most importantly. And if you did manage to get your fingers to the floor, let your head and neck go for a moment. Give a big sigh of relief knowing that you've arrived to take a load off. Just breathe easy, my friends. Let's collect ourselves and rise when you're ready. If possible, with courage and gusto, we're gonna try to get to the top. I did a little snaky rise. Lift our arms up, extend our legs forward, and then slowly melt them to the earth. Release the arms. Do your little happy dance at that side is done. Balance is over. Stretch out through the toes, the ankles. When you're ready, my friends, scoop up your right knee. Take your hands like a basket and hug it in. So this is a good balance challenge. It's very freeing for this right hip flexor. But if we also want to add on the stretch on the left side, you know what to do. Lift long, lean back. Focusing your eye gaze, known in yoga as your dristi, on something extremely still will help you tremendously. One more big breath. Come back to standing, heel to butt on the right side. If you're reaching for it, great. Left arm rises. If you can get a hold of it, great. No judgment, approaching everything with curiosity and openness. Sometimes we have a day where we're falling all over the place in balances. Don't worry about it. Just giggle, let it go, move on with me. Let's start to really kick. We're gonna push our kneecaps to the floor and kick our right legs strong into the right hand. If you're holding on, make it worth it. Tipping over to the right side for a side bend. There's a lot going on here, so slow down your breath. Stay calm, cool, and collected. Inhale back to sky, hug your right knee again, flex your foot, and let's try to cross it over the left thigh. Another great time to hold on to your walls or your furniture, and then you can really sink in. I want you to try to push your butt way far back, and then you're also gonna try to push your right knee down. So butt back, right knee down. It's a little pushing and pulling exercise here. And then if you've got your balance and you feel like you want to fold or reach forward, do what feels good. If you manage to get upside down, shake your head. Alrighty, my friends, let's rise one more time. We have to get this big victorious arm overhead. V for victory, feel good, send the leg forward, and then really slowly release. Last balance challenge. Whew. Sometimes that really gets into your standing glute, doesn't it? So just shake it off. Anything that you need, rub your legs, massage your buns, whatever it needs. Okay, and when you feel really good, let's find the floor. We're gonna inhale, trying to get everyone to kneeling today. So if possible, I know we may have started here for some of us. How can we easily get to the floor? I like tiptoe stand. So my buns find the heels are lifted, and we start to lower our knees to the floor. Can also be done in yogi squat. Out wide like this. Find a yogi squat that you like. Bring the knees together, send your chest back and your knees forward. And sometimes you fall back like me. So once we've arrived at kneeling, if this feels super uncomfortable for you, take your mat or a blanket and make your knees really happy. So get comfy, guys. Okay, now that you're here, land the tops of your feet flat, buns to heels, grab right hand on right knee, bring left fingertips behind you and try to stretch the front of your ankle, your shin. You're gonna lift this knee and lean back. Left fingertips can come out. If you don't need that, that's fine. Some of you may be not able to lift your legs at all here. It's okay, it's just practice. Weird stretch. How often do you stretch the front of your ankles? So it's new. Left hand, left knee. Right hand can come behind you. We're gonna try to lift that, rise. Allow it to come down, and if possible, both fingers back, or you may not need fingers back, both knees rising. I know this is one that's been giving a lot of people a lot of trouble, but they're like, I really can't lift my knees. That's why we're gonna practice it a little bit more. Really important stretch so that you don't get ankle injuries. Take one more big breath in here. And on your exhalation, land. Let's just tap out the tops of our feet, literally like you're making a drum roll for yourself. Or you can tuck your toes and go the other way and shift your hips back. That might feel really intense, so take your time there. Alrighty, kneeling again, going back for more psoas. So we're gonna bring the heels behind the knees. Optionally, you can close your big toes and then rise on up to camel pose, kneeling posture. Check in with your knees, see how your feet feel good with your knees. Arms are rising overhead. For those of you that know camel, your hips are staying over your knees, and we're attempting a little back bend, but it can be really tough on people's low back. So I like to start you with the option. Make two fists, bring them into the small of your back. They're gonna push in and up at the same time, kind of like you're lifting out of that area. Open your heart to the sky, and then begin to curl over your fists. See how they're keeping your hips forward? So this is a great option. Then when I'm there, I like to really try to squeeze my elbows together behind me. Feel that big opening in your chest. Everyone tuck your chin to your chest and come out. If you need a child's pose to stretch free, go for it. We're trying 3 rounds. So next round, arms rise, hands come to heart center, and the same feeling, squeeze through the buns, lift in the heart and lean back just a tad with your heart. Remember, hips are staying forward. Left arm rises to the sky, sweeps down behind us like it's reaching for our left heel, and back to our heart center. Right arm reach, inhale, sweep behind us, exhale, back to heart center. Both arms reach up and overhead, hold. Try not to sweep them back here, just stay lifted, breathing. Exhale, hands to heart, chin to chest. Take a break or just come back up. If your back is feeling really tight, take a break, yogis. Stretch out here and come back to us. One more round. We're gonna try to circle both arms. If you don't like that, stick with option number 1 and use your fists in your sacrum. Lift up, everyone, breathe in. If you're able to, both arms overhead. We're just up tall right here. Now squeeze your buns, lift out of your low back, and begin to arch back with both arms. Tough to breathe when you get back here. Slow down. Soften facial features. Wiggle fingers open. Take one more big breath in. Hands come to heart center. Chin tucks to chest. Heels and hips melt together. Oh, so good, guys. Bring your knees side to side and just take a little twist around the left side. Little twist around the right side. Let's go one more time each side. Well done. Good news, all the back stuff is over. All right, let's push back. Child's pose. And we're gonna take a little twist to keep on releasing the back. Left arm comes under the right. It's just a fun one, you guys. Bring your left hand like a high five, wrist on top of elbow, and then literally high five yourself together. Press your palms so that your chest rises, maybe even thumbs to sternum. Try to breathe through all these twisty areas. Eye gaze looks up towards your right elbow. And then unwind just your top arm. Let your left arm fall out. We're still in thread the needle. Press your left temple on the floor and tuck your right toes back behind you. I love doing this, especially on Fridays, because it's goofy and fun. Now just check your space behind you because you may tumble backwards on this one. So I don't want you to hit any furniture. Check to make sure it's clear. Right arm rises to the sky. Right leg rises to the sky. And this is all well and fun and super challenging. But if you want to make it harder, your right heel bends to your butt and you grab a hold of the top of your right foot. It's really such a goofy thing. If you tend to fall backwards all the time in this, I've done it a million times too, you just kind of tuck and roll, no big deal. Extend back from wherever you were. Top arm floats to the earth. Top leg falls. You come back to child's knees, thread your needle, and then roll all the way out to extended child's pose. Great job, guys. Let's rise through our hips, one down dog twist, and then we'll repeat. Using that same arm, widen your feet out as wide as your mat. Left hand comes under your body and to the outside of your right leg. You may want to bend your knee really big and then grab a hold of something there. Straighten your right leg as much as you can and peek out under your right armpit. Entering the fun zone. I got another goofy one for you guys. Come back into regular down dog. And then let's take your left foot fully on the mat, but turned out to about 45 degrees. Right leg rises into three-legged dog. Bend your heel into your butt and sweep your left hand behind you. Try to grab the top of your right foot. So all these quirky balancing challenges, weird, right? Weird is so fun. If you've toppled over a bunch of times, remember, there's always someone else that's been there or is currently there with you, so no worries. What makes you a yogi is coming right back and trying again. Take one more breath wherever you are. Release when you're ready. Slowly pedal out or walk the dog. And then let's drop back into our child's pose. Safe zone. Great job, guys. Reach forward, find your child's. And when you're ready, thread your right arm under the left. Just take a twisted child's pose to begin. Right elbow bends, wrist is on top. We actually high five ourselves. Push our palms to lift our chests and eye gaze softly up towards left elbow. Now we know it's coming, so take a moment to enjoy the calm before the silliness. Let's rethread our needle. But this time we're planting the right temple on the mat. So our hips start to rise, right? Then you're able to tuck your left toes back, lift up through your left arm. And you could just stay here. It's so great. Now, I don't know about you, but I like to use the back of my right hand. It makes a big difference. You want like really open fingers because that's a big part of our balancing. So find a way that you feel comfy. If you'd like to extend your left toes. And if you feel good there, try to kick your left heel. Woo. Heel towards butt. Remember, if you tumble over backwards, just duck and roll. It's okay. You'll be all right. It's just a little tumble. Re-extend from wherever you are, trying to move really slowly and purposely here. Toes, arms. Rethread your needle back to safety. Alrighty. And then reach arms back out. Downward facing dog. So just a super gentle twist first, yogis. Press on back, but widen your feet like mat width. Right hand sneaks under your body now. Your left knee bends, and we try to get a hold of anything from your knee all the way down to your heel. And then you start to straighten your left leg and peek out under your left left armpit. Big down dog twist. Let's unthread that. And we're gonna move our left foot in a little bit. Right foot falls fully to a 45 degree. And as you lift your left leg, bend your heel to your butt. So the secret to this being successful is that your right foot is flat. Your toes have to be turned out on the diagonal a little bit, or it's really hard to keep your foot flat. Right hand reaches behind you now. See if you can get a hold of the top of that left foot. Remember, no expectations, no judgments. We are all beginners every second of every class. We've never been in this moment before. We approach with open-minded curiosity and, most importantly, a willingness to have fun. One more breath wherever you are. Slowly ease on out if that's possible. If you crashed and burned, that's okay too. And when you're ready, drop to your knees. Give your wrists a little shake. They're a little tender right now, so shake them out. Okay, so if you weren't able to get that quad stretch, I really want you to get a good one in today. So we're gonna bring fingertips down, left arm out to the side and right leg out to right side. Extend here, gate pose. Left ankle is right behind the left knee. Reach your right arm overhead and then elevate your right foot. So here we go, trying to get that quad stretch. And then a little bit more psoas if you can get it. This is a good quad stretch here, right? But if you wanted to add the back bend, which would really stretch open the front of your hip as well, you would think about kicking your right toes back towards your left elbow, closing that gap back there. Squeeze in. Gate pose is a beautiful stretch too if you've chosen to just stay here and breathe. Really nice elongation through your right side body. Take in one more big breath in. Extend back out long and then just do some big shoulder circles with this right arm. Eye gaze up, eye gaze down, huge shoulder circles. And it's a cheap yoga thrill because you get a little dizzy when you move your eyes big like this, right? Woo-wee. Bring both hands back down. Press the blade edge of your right foot down and reach away from it. Reach towards your left side. You can drop your forehead, drop your chin and chest, whatever feels good. Walk through the center. Let's do the same thing with a soft right knee over towards your right toes. Diagonal reach. Noticing what's happening here, yogis. If you feel sensation in your left shoulder blade down through your left side, send breath to wherever you notice something happening. Fingertips back under your chest. Draw your knee back in and let's roll to the sky to reset. Arms rise. All right, let's bring it back down. Hands under. Right hand comes out. Left toes extend. And then sweep your left arm skywards to wherever it feels good. Making sure your shoulder is stacked over wrist and you feel nice there. Left leg extends. Left arm reaches overhead. Heel to butt. Point your toes. That's a really great way to grasp a hold of that left foot. Feels nice here. You could push your knee long, or we could start kicking our left toes towards our right elbow, getting a bit more of a stretch. Lots of back strengthening happening here as well. Breathing to wherever we feel sensations. So nice. Breathe in one more time. Extend all the way back out. Do some big shoulder circles, but push the blade edge of your left foot down. And then start to roll a little bit. Lifting, eye gaze, follows fingers. Exhale, inhale, exhale, and inhale. Let's land both hands and walk them way far to the right corner, away from the left blade edge. Press away. See if you can bow down and even possibly drop your forehead. Or you might want to drop your chin and your chest, which is a big shoulder stretch. Walking hands through the center and then off towards the left toes. We're going to soften that left knee before we travel over here. Now reach and stretch out your right side. The more we can bow down in our heads, the deeper the stretch will feel. Come on back in through the center, hands under shoulders for support. Knee comes in, we rise all the way to the sky again, and then let your hips fall anyway so that you feel like you can come to the earth gently. All right, we finally made it down. Making it here is like a huge accomplishment. We love to be on the ground because we get all this good energy from Mother Earth. So we're really grounding here. Press everything down into the mat, staff pose, legs are straight. And once you arrive, push your heels out, but then also lift your buns and pull them back softly, really gently. And you're really long in your legs here. Arms rise. If you can cross left wrist over right, that way we can grab with a little crisscross for the shoulders. Grabbing anything we can, feet, sides of our shins. Even if you can't crisscross, you can grab the sides of your mat, and that will help you pull forward. As we pull on our mat, it pulls our body forward. Let's go as long as we can for our side bodies, really engaged in our bellies. And then we can exhale, let it all go. Just big sigh of relief. Start to snuggle down. You can round your back, release your arms, just feel the stretch coming into the backs of your legs. Rise when you're ready, big inhalation, and fingertips are coming behind us. Feet come flat on the mat. Now listen to your shoulders when you rise, because everyone's fingers like to be turned out to a different degree. I like mine to face my toes, and then I just roll my shoulders open. Press your feet down. We're going to lift up into reverse tabletop. So think about how your elbows and your shoulders feel, and then when you get up, you're going to start to engage your inner thighs towards one another, and then you can let your head hang back if you like that. So this is a great time for lion's breath, really clearing. We breathe in through our noses for lion's breath, but then we do something crazy. We open our mouth, we stick our tongues out, don't worry, no one can see you, and we literally let it go like a lion. So we breathe in, and then we go, letting it all go. Tuck chin back to chest, hips down to the floor. Take a second to literally hug your shins. If possible, you're gonna round everything in here, hug, but then take your back like an angry cat. Arch it away from your belly and your shins. Alrighty, let's try a cross-legged staff pose. Legs come out, left leg crosses over the right, and if you feel like you're hyperextending, put something under your knees. Arms rise. Come around here, and then see if you'd like to twist any certain way. Remembering we're always asking our backs, our bodies, whatever we're stretching, what do you need today? Trying to pull our toes back towards our nose and possibly walking our sits bones. Those are the bones in the middle of your buns. Walk them back a little bit for more length here. Roll to the sky again, lift your arms. Uncross your legs, get really long. We lift our arms to lengthen out the side bodies. Right ankle over the left, soften your knees. And then come into a fold, but then experiment a little bit, inviting a twist here, guiding yourself into a stretch there, and see what's the favorite for today. Let's roll up to seated again, my friends. Uncross your legs, and we're gonna try to straighten both legs today. So we can go back to reverse table, which is what you just did, or if you wanna try a bit different, you're gonna straighten your legs and try to plug your big toes into the earth as we lift into reverse plank. So this one's a big one. If you get up and you're like, oh no, I don't like that, come on down, bend your knees, and come back into reverse tabletop. Otherwise, all the same, you can let your head drop back, you check in with your fingers so that your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders all feel good. One more breath. Exhale, release, let your hips fall. Hug your knees back into your chest. Literally hug your shins, but arch angry cat style away from thighs. Alrighty, my friends. Let's lift our bodies up. Hold on to the backs of our thighs, round again, extend fingers forward, and then roll one vertebrae at a time to the floor. We're gonna lie on our backs, please. But we're just doing a little core challenge here to get down really slowly. Keep toes in the mat, slower, slower, slower. When you've landed, congrats. Heels under hips. Let's spread our arms wide like a T, and then start to boost up through your hips. Push heels down. Tilt tailbone to backs of knees, and really slowly articulate your spine off the mat. Tucking chin towards chest to lengthen back body. When you feel like you're up really nicely high and you're feeling a little tension in your thighs as they stretch and a little length in your back, let's bring our arms up and overhead and then lift our heels. Starting to squeeze our knees towards one another so we can stay really engaged and protect our knees. Heels melt down, left knee comes into chest. Leg extends towards the sky. Now really boost through your right heel to lift you up here. See if you can catch your belly rise and fall as you look down the bridge of your nose. Left knee bends, foot replaces, right knee into chest. Take a second. Extend when you're ready. Open your yogi toes. Really spread brightness through your right toes. Push a little higher. Rebend. Replace your heels, and then ever so slowly melt hands and hips. Be patient in your hips here. Down into your earth. See if you can let them land at the same time. Nice. Left knee crosses over right. Walk your right foot all the way to the right side as far as it feels good. Spread your arms and then allow your knees to fall to the left. You can uncross your leg a bit so it's just the ankle crossed over the right thigh. Just see what feels good for a little lying twist. Come on back in there and switch sides. So it's a whole right knee crossing or just the right ankle. Left leg moves over to the left and then we drop knees over to the right. Coming back into the center, hugging knees in towards armpits, and just staying here for a second to roll side to side. For my yogis that have to leave class at 1:55, when we get done this spinal massage, sadly, I have to say goodbye to you. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for sharing your practice with us today. If you can stay, knees come in towards your chest, and we're gonna poke our toes to the sky. So this is a great option at the end of class called waterfall. You're welcome to stay right here. You can even prop your hips up on something like a pillow or a blanket. Optionally, we're coming into shoulder stands, plow, and then deaf yogi. But when you get into any of those, you cannot move your head. So you have to keep your eyes at the sky and not move. It's too compromising when you get your neck stretched out like that to move your head. So if you don't know the postures, watch me. I'm going to go through them really quickly, and then we'll slow it down together. You're going to lift your buns, coming into shoulder stand. Hands come under the cheeks. Elbows walk in together. Notice my eyes are up, staying up at the ceiling. And then we use our fingertips and our palms to really lift up, like someone's pulling your toes to the sky, shoulder stand. Plow posture would come next. Toes slowly make their way behind our heads. Any degree, if they touch the floor, cool. Back of knees rise. If you like that and you want more deaf yogi, knees come down by our ears and we chill there. Then we'll all roll out together. So go for it, yogis. From waterfall to deaf yogi. You pick your poison. They all feel pretty awesome. And then I'll just talk you through how to get up again. It's just a little boost, like you're doing a reverse crunch. Lift your toes, lift your hips, and then you're gonna catch your fingers under them. Start to walk your hands up your back, bringing elbows closer to spine. This is for those of us that are gonna hang out in shoulder stand. Now, last warning, no moving your eyes, please. It's so dangerous for your neck. Eyes up. And then we're gonna start to bring our toes a little higher, like you're reaching for the stars up there. Full breath. I know it's very difficult to breathe here, so slow yourself down. It's fun to watch your belly breathe, though, when you're in shoulder stand. That's pretty cool. And if you'd like to plow with me, flex your feet. Allow them to drop back over your head. See how slowly you can go back there. They don't have to go far, but we're going to start to think about pressing the backs of our knees high to the sky, wherever we are. A little tougher to breathe here, so hang in if you're there. And then if you're feeling good, but you're like, I want a little more, start to bend your knees, bring your knees back down by your ears, kind of like you're smushed into a tiny little box. And then again, try to breathe, the most important part of our practice, finding and feeling really smooth in our breath. Now, no matter where you are, deaf yogi, plow, or shoulder stands, we're gonna slowly try to come down like that spinal articulation again. So palms fall flat to the mat, and then we begin to slowly let the spine melt down, one little tiny inch by inch. When you've arrived, bring feet flat, let your feet widen and drop your knees together so they look like a steeple. And then just bring your arms up and overhead, opening through the armpits and the shoulders. Whoo-wee, good job. Reversing all that beautifully oxygenated blood flow, so hopefully you're feeling pretty stimulated in your brain when you rise. Let's move in any way that feels good for us, possibly a little windshield wiping knee swish, or you may just want to roll on over to the fetal position. I love to do the right side because then your heart can hammock down really low and just kind of take a break. When you're ready, use your top arm to press on up. And then let's just come together for one final breath in. What a beautiful practice, your breath and body creating these beautiful flows. If it speaks to you, hands come together at heart center. I'd like to take a moment to honor you for stepping onto your yoga mat every Friday with me with the intention to commit to self-care, to love yourself, to make yourself the very best version of you, to commit to your practice, to help all the rest of us stay accountable to get here, and to bring lightness and brightness into this world. So thank you, yogis. The light in me honors, acknowledges, is very inspired and humbled by the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Have a beautiful weekend, my friends.